Ever since I can remember, I've been into cars, a complete petrol head. Took my driving test the day after my 17th birthday, as soon as I could do it. And so if you told me a few years ago that I'd be driving electric cars, I wouldn't really have believed you, but I tried one 6 years ago and I've been driving them ever since. They're fantastic. If you told me even more recently that a Hyundai would be an interesting, a completely different design, something new to the market, I probably would have laughed in your face. But they are. Have a look at this. I would not have believed that in 2021 I would have bought a Hyundai electric vehicle if you tried telling me this story 10 years ago. But that's exactly what I've just done. And this is it here, the Hyundai Ioniq 5. It's a little bit weird, it's a bit of a Marmite car. What do you think of it? Let me know in the comments below. What do I think of it? Well, I'm going to find out in a minute. I'm currently on the outskirts of Edinburgh and I'm going to drive this car all the way back down to the south coast where I live in Bournemouth. So it's now nearly 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We're just topping off the charge and this is going to be a really good chance to really find out exactly what we think of this car. Like them. It's a bit like mustard, isn't it? Some people hate it, some people love it. And for me, like, there's something about it I don't like, but that's why I like it more when I do have it. Olives, anchovies, I think they're all the same category, and of course Marmite. But what it is interesting, and that's what I really find, you know, is the Model 3, fantastic car, I love the Model 3, I've had them for years, but is that now a bit boring? I don't know. I'm really interested to see what you think in the comments below. I look at this car and I go, it's not a pretty car, but it's interesting, and well done Hyundai for making it, because it is just very different. What I'm interested to see today, of course, is what's it like to kind of live with really and cover 400 or 500 miles in a day. That's why we've travelled up to Edinburgh today, collected this car. I've never driven one before. We're just going to top off the charge now to 100% and then hit the road. I did a really similar journey with the VW ID4 a few months ago, and we're going to take the same route. So I can tell exactly how this is going to compare to the VW ID4 I've driven on this route and the Tesla Model 3 long range we did the same journey with at that time as well. So for me, this is going to be a really interesting experience. Get to know the car really well. Got a lot of hours to spend in this car today, and then give some opinion on it. And I think what will happen is there'll probably be another video where I can go a little bit more into depth, because on first impression there's a lot to talk about in this car. There's a whole raft of different features and new functions. So anyway, 100%, we need to hit the road. Nearly 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's get back to Bournemouth. That's it, 100% charge. What have we got? 100%, 269 miles in normal mode. There's an eco mode and a sport mode. If we switch to eco, 277 miles. So first thing I'm going to do is try and aim for the Ionity charger at Leeds, which is 209 miles away. So it should make it easily, shouldn't it? Let's do that. Should be a nice sort of lower state of charge. That's the charger I went to with the VW ID4, and I can see exactly how it charges. And this car allegedly does charge very, very fast. So we'll find out exactly. Let's hit the road. But first, I'm going to let Gints behind the camera drive this, because there's so much going on here to sort of learn, have a play with. And we've got these reclining seats like first class business lounge. So to be honest, after the travelling we've done so far today, I'm going to take a little rest, have a little bit of a play. Gints can have a go at driving it, and then I'll take the next leg of the journey. And that's what I'm talking about. This is a way to travel. Very reasonable. Right, let me sit up for a minute. So we've just left Edinburgh, and we're going to head for the Ionity chargers at Leeds, Skelton Lake, which is on the way, and that's exactly where I went to with the ID4, so we should be able to do that route absolutely fine. But there's one slight difference in that we are going to divert to Middlesbrough on the way down to collect another car, actually. So there is a bit of a diversion, but we will see how we go once we've done a few miles to get a gauge of its efficiency and everything like that. We're in eco mode, but we're just going to drive at speed limits. We're not going to particularly try, but as we're just on dual carriageways most of the time, eco mode will be absolutely fine, and see what we can get from this car. First impressions, Gints?
Love it, really, really love it. I'm so shocked how nice it is. Actually, everything is nice about it.
It is quite reasonable. It's very different. So this video here will be about the journey, I think, and the efficiency and charging, get to know the car, what it can do there, and a few of its features. And then I think a second video is going to follow where we can go into more depth about some of the unique features and functions of this car. But it's just very different so far. It has a smoothness to it. It feels well made, certainly well finished and well built. There's a few great plastics around, but at the moment my standout feature so far is these seats, which are fantastic. I could easily sleep in this car. In fact, that's what I might do now actually whilst we're driving. So, long journey ahead of us. Let's get going, and we'll keep you some updates on the way. What have we got exactly, by the way? This is they call it Project 45. It's basically the launch edition car, fully loaded with everything, and this includes this solar roof, which does actually put energy in the battery even as we drive now. It's adding some energy even in Scotland. This has got 73 kilowatt hours of usable battery. Just have a look at the amount of paperwork that comes with this car. That's one manual.
That's one. But then we have a daddy as well here.
Look at that. There's a bit of reading on this journey. Got a few hours to kill. There's a socket down there. Apparently it's 3-pin, but it's 16 amp. There's a key to unlock it. What do these buttons do?
So these buttons control rear seats.
What does it do?
This is what you do.
Is this? You have to hold it like this to get comfortable.
You train your triceps.
A little bit of car exercise. Cool.
Oh, saved. Oh, no.
Is there a button somewhere?
I don't know, let me read the manual.
If you get to page... mine's just saved.
Yeah.
If you get to page 150... You've been reading that for an hour. What page are you up to?
It says page... I don't know what it says. 40...
Chapter 3.
Chapter 3.
Section 4.
45th page.
Got 66% battery left, so we've used a third. We've covered 87 miles, so that's 240, 50, 60, 260 mile range in theory.
If you drive like this. Yeah.
But these are A roads, pretty efficient behind another car.
We're not talking 70 miles an hour plus.
Well, we'll see what the difference is like then, but at least it should have a further range than the ID4. So when you're in eco mode, you can see it just uses the rear wheels. I'm trying to put my foot down. Even then it only uses the rear motor. So it's rear wheel drive when it's in eco mode. If I change to normal mode, what does it do there? So it's still rear wheel drive. Oh, there we go. Then the 4-wheel drive comes in if you put your foot down. Let's change to sport. Let's see what it does. Now it's always 4-wheel drive. There you go. Sun's out and the solar panel generation level is going up. Wouldn't it be good if it could generate enough so that your charge level didn't go down? It's not like that. You can't really generate huge amounts off of a solar roof. That's why it hasn't really made production in mass volumes, but it's a neat idea, and it is actually putting a little bit of charge into this battery, and it will continue to do so when it's parked and turned off. So if you leave the car outside in the sun for long enough, you'll fully recharge. Okay, a bit of a progress update because we just stopped to pick up this Tesla Model X. Done a few more miles since, but it's starting to get dark. So let's just explain where we are and what we're going to do. So we are just south of Middlesbrough and Darlington. We've got 303 miles to go to get home. And I've got a Hyundai Ioniq, which hasn't charged since Edinburgh. That's got 30% of its battery remaining. The Tesla Model X has 66% of its battery remaining. We're going to have to go off in different places and different routes and charge differently because the Tesla will use its Tesla chargers and I will use independent CCS chargers. So we're going to separate off in a minute. I'll carry on the rest of my progress and filming with the charging of the Ioniq with a GoPro, and Gints will go on his way with the Tesla. And we may have to stop over tonight as it gets too late and we get too tired. But what we're going to do is basically keep logging, especially the efficiency of this car and how fast this car charges. But I think it'd be quite interesting overall to see what the charging time is of these two cars to be able to get back, and then what do they get back with. So even though we're going to be on different routes, we're going to just drive at speed limits. It's motorway, it's quite late at night, so we can both just stick at 70 and see, you know, this has got quite good charging speed allegedly. So will actually the beneficial charging speed of this mean it can get back ahead of the Tesla, even though the Tesla has more charge? Well, that's what we'll find out. The main focus is really on this car, but it's a nice little comparison as we're doing it. Again, real world tests. We're here doing our job, which is collecting this car today and this car today. So some comparisons along the way will be fine. So in the meantime, Gints, you go your way. I'm going to go my way. Let's see how we go. Or there's a hotel here. Is this a hotel? Should we go and stay in this? No, right, let's get back on the A19. It would have been kind of cool to get both cars charged at the same point at the same time, but we just don't have the time to do it really, and the chargers are in different places for these different cars. So yeah, it is what it is, but that wasn't really the point. The main thing we want to see really on this video is how efficient the Ioniq is, how fast does it charge, what's it like to drive, and that's still the plan. So it's proven pretty good so far. 30% battery, 173 miles covered, and I've got 46 miles to go to the Ioniq charge at Leeds, so we should make that absolutely no problem at all, even via the diversion into Middlesbrough in rush hour to do the collection on that car there. So yeah, it's all good so far. Let's see how we go. Main thing is we want a longer charging time when we're at the chargers. I think should be fast. Yeah, the lane assist thing, it's quite weird. It's got radar cruise, lane assist. You indicate, it kind of changes lane for you. And in the head-up display, you can see a few things. It leaves a sort of tracking dot for the vehicle in front, which is kind of weird. It's almost like something on the glass. But it sort of works. But what it does do, which is a bit annoying, is constantly, if you kind of do relax the steering wheel is constantly just going like this. And it's constantly nudging around and fidgeting around in the lane, so you then have to sort of hold it to steady it, otherwise it just kind of fidgets around more than it should do. And I don't really know why it's doing it, and usually with this sort of stuff it always improves with software updates over time, but at the moment if you kind of really relax your hands, it just kind of fidgets around in the lane. Let me see if I can activate it here. Here, I don't know if you can see that. You see the steering wheel just going like this, so you end up kind of soaring around. A bit weird. Right, 9% battery left, needs a charge. 9 miles to get to the charger, so no problem. Here we are, this is the data we want. So since recharging, 218.7 miles and 5% remaining, so use 95%. So what does that work out? Which gives this car today a real world range of 230 miles. So as usual, it falls short of the kind of manufacturer's claims, and I wasn't trying for efficiency. I was driving at speed limit, but it should have been quite an efficient run, in that a lot of it was A roads, kind of 60 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour. You know, it should have been quite an efficient run. We had a trip into the town, fairly town centre in a rush hour to collect a car, but actually the economy 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour. It was running about 3.4 until we got more consistent 70 miles per hour, and then the efficiency just dropped off. Put a light on. So yeah, kind of okay efficiency. Real world range of 230 miles. Yeah, okay. End of the day, pretty. I think the ID4 was a bit less efficient, but a Hyundai Kona is quite a lot more efficient. So 73 kilowatt hours usable for a car this size. I mean, yeah, it's okay. I think its trump card is about its charging speed though, so I'm going to see now what that works out to be. Right, so as you can see there, a fast charge, really fast. I ran into the services, toilet, got my food, ate as quick as I could, and the car is just about charged there, 99%. So 42 minutes it's on now. Obviously the last bit slows down. To get the shortest charging stops, I normally finish at 80% and then carry on, but this is still charging pretty quickly and I was still eating my food. I've literally just finished. So yeah, 42 minutes from 5% up to 99 and about 0.5% now. That's impressive, that's good. I've got 260 miles to go to get home, as you can see that, and the car's showing a range of 272 miles and 100% charged. So let's hit the road, see how we go. Maybe it's that quick top up needed. Quick update, since the Leeds charge I've done 160 miles continuously now, 2 hours 31 minutes of driving, but that continuous higher speed, and I've been definitely not being economical, pushing on. It's late at night, tired, want to get back, but that's impacted the efficiency. So since that charge, I've actually averaged 2.9 miles per kilowatt hour according to this. The estimated range on this car does adjust based on how you've been driving, so it's been now quite realistic on what I can do based on the fact that I've not been driving brilliantly economically for the last 162.3 miles and 2 hours 32 minutes. So in 15 miles I'm going to stop for a charge. Won't need long, and I need a wee anyway. Yeah, need the wee, and I'm actually head against at the moment, so he's behind me on the road. I don't think by much, by about 10 minutes, but I'm actually ahead, but I need about a 10-minute charge, so yeah, won't be too far off. We'll see, but got to stop anyway. Need a wee. Alright, here we are at a BP Pulse. Just want to top up the charge a bit. So the speeds I've been driving, as in full on motorway speeds consistently, the range on this would be about 210 miles. So overall, I'm going to pitch the range of this car achievable 200 to 250 miles. 250 has been economical, warm weather. More like just over 200 if you're pushing on quite hard. Right, there's the chargers. Quick 10-minute top up. I've got 13% now after that 178 miles. I need to get to about 40% really for getting back now, so let's see how long that takes. Unfortunately, this isn't a 350 kilowatt charger, it's only 150, but hopefully it does the job quite quickly. Okay, I'm charging away and it's already up to 23%, pulling 173 kilowatts out of this 175 kilowatt charger. So it's faster, 150, 175 actually from this BP Pulse. There's Gintz, he's behind me, so what's that, about 10 minutes? So can this get up to 40% in 10 minutes? That's about what I need, I reckon. So it says here it's going to take 16 minutes to get to 80%, so from 24% to 80% would take 16 minutes. So yeah, it's a quick charging car, this one. I'm going to keep an eye on this tracker and see how we go. It's a silly game, isn't it? But it does make it. Oh, hang on a minute. According to this, he might have just come past me. No. Oh well, Tesla wins by the look of it. We'll see, as long as the tracker's accurate. Right, I just need 5 minutes here, won't take long. It's 1:20 in the morning, we made it back. Shall I show you the trip? Let's have a look. So, 493 miles covered. Let's see if I get a bit closer. 493.2 miles covered since we charged just on the outskirts of Edinburgh there. So the average was 3 miles per kilowatt hour, and that is not trying. Obviously it's been late, we've just got back as quick as we can within legal limits, of course. So 9.25 hours of driving time, and in total, so I actually pushed it at the end there, 4%, 6 miles of range, but that's fine. I've got a charger at home, so that's no problem. Long day, isn't it, Gintz? But those chairs are good, huh?
Yeah, this is helpful. It's very nice.
So that was Edinburgh to Bournemouth, 500 miles with 55 minutes of charging time. I had the 45 minutes and then the 11 minutes, so okay, 56 minutes of charging time. But actually it could have been less than that, because the first one, if I wasn't still eating my noodles, I would have left a little bit earlier. So you could do that trip with, 45, 50 minutes of charging time. And remember, the second charger wasn't even as fast as the car can take. So actually you could probably do it in even less than that, 45 minutes probably. Which I think anyone would agree, when you've driven 5 hours and 500 miles and 9.25 hours, isn't really a problem, is it? That's what you do need to stop for anyway. I needed to stop all of that time to eat and to go to the toilet. So, yeah, the Ioniq 5, very capable of long distance. Its charging speed, incredible. Very, very good. Efficiency, okay. So, in that time, I've got to know the car a little bit. Overall, very comfortable car for long distances. There's some things that are really unique that I really like. There's some things that have niggled me a little bit. So I think we call it this a wrap for this video and that journey. But we will make another one where we kind of can show you the car in more detail itself and go through all those things we like and don't like. So for now, from me and Gintz, that's been a very long day. We're going to sign off, and thank you for watching this video. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Hit the bell icon. And if you're not following us on social media already, then please do so. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, links all in the description below. For now, that's it. I'm going to bed. Going to bed?
Yeah.
Bedtime. Take it easy. See you later.